Labor has clearly given up on law and order. But despite only being sworn in as a Cabinet Minister last month, Prime Minister Chris Hipkins says the MP for Hutt South is a fresh pair of hands. He says she's a former chair of the Justice Select Committee and worked for the police before entering politics.
For 10 years, and has experience working there. I'm happy to send out some biographical details of the areas that she has been working on. But actually, probably the more recent and relevant experiences as chair of Parliament's Justice Committee. Of course, you will have had quite a lot of exposure to the police and to the issues that police are dealing with at the moment.
Mr Hipkins says Ms Anderson will have the support of other, more senior colleagues.
The Minister of Justice sits on the front bench. Many of the policy issues that the police deal with are covered by the Justice portfolio, and of course I have an interest in this as well. I can provide an absolute reassurance that law and order and crime will continue to be a key area of focus for the government.
National Police spokesperson Mark Mitchell has issued a statement saying Chris Hipkins has appointed a minister with less than 2 months' experience at the bottom of the cabinet rankings at a time when the country is experiencing the worst crime levels it has ever seen. And a note to listeners and our viewers, Ms Anderson is not at the bottom of the cabinet rankings. That spot is now occupied by Stuart Nash. It is 7 minutes away from 6. Kia ora mai. You're listening to Checkpoint on RNZ National. Immigration New Zealand is reviewing whether a controversial anti-transgender activist will be let into the country. Posey Parker is on a travelling tour around Australia before heading to New Zealand this weekend. Wellington's mayor says there's nothing she can do to stop her using a public space for her rally. Our reporter Rachel Graham has more. Angry scenes as Posey Parker, also known as Kelly J. Keane-Minshall, spoke at a rally in Melbourne on the weekend. Far-right protesters were dressed in black, giving Nazi salutes as police held back other protesters who had come out in opposition to the rally. Kelly J. Keane-Minshall fronts a group called Standing for Women and is due to hold rallies in Albert Park in Auckland and Civic Square in Wellington this weekend. Wellington Council says Civic Square is a public space, which has hosted many protests and politicians, and it cannot stop Ms Keane-Minshall making use of the space. Mayor Tori Whanau says Ms Keane-Minshall and her group's anti-trans views are grotesque and not welcome in Wellington. However, she says there is little the council can do to stop the rally due to the Bill of Rights.
But I know the community, I trust them to come together. My understanding is that a counter-protest is being organised. We also have Cupid for this weekend, which I know will be all about celebrating diversity, and we'll be ensuring that our rainbow whānau feel welcome in our own city.
The CEO of the Free Speech Union, Jonathan Ailing, says controversial ideas, even offensive ones, should be able to be aired and freely responded to.
The best way to beat bad ideas is by having better ideas put forward. And so if this group is putting forward hateful views, counter it with inclusive views. Don't try and shut them down. That makes them have a faux respectability, and it makes martyrs out of those that might be better ignored. So the best way to address this is with more speech.
Rainbow Greens have called for Ms Keane-Minshall to be stopped from entering the country and reiterated that request following the clashes in Melbourne. In a statement, Immigration New Zealand's General Manager, Richard Owen, says as the holder of a United Kingdom passport, Ms Keane-Minshall has applied for and been granted a New Zealand Electronic Travel Authority.